What is up, guys? NinjaNick333. We are back for another round of the Japan Championships. I think I figured out the, I think I figured it out. I think this is day 2 Swiss. And, they cut to top 16. So, I'm gonna have that in the, video titles. So you guys would have known it before I did. But I've been trying to figure this out for all of these day 2 rounds so far. I mean, we're on like the 3rd or 4th one. It looks like we have a Lugia mirror, both of them being single strike package versions. It looks like they got Squawkabillies in the background too. I really like this art that they do here. We have the Scarlet and Violet mascots there in the background. Whoever made that art is super talented. They do have a lot of really good artists on the team for the Pokemon Company, I do have to say. I did actually, at one of the regionals, I did get to meet one of the artists. For some of the cards, she drew Fossil Set Omanite, as well as Jungle Ekans. I think there was a Graveler, and just a bunch of really good artworks. Still makes artwork to this day. I think she made a Braixen Charizard GX tag team as well. So I met her. I got a couple cards signed by her. She was really sweet. I got a Meowth signed by her, and there's little arts that they can draw on your cards. They only allow you to pick certain Pokemon for them to doodle on your card. So there was a Meowstic. So I got the Meowstic drawn on there in a signature on the Meowth card. And she's like, oh, Neko, because she wasn't drawing like Meowths or anything. So I'm like, yeah, I like cats, because Neko is Japanese for cat. I knew that much. So she giggled and said Neko. And I'm like, yeah, because they match. And I'm like, yeah, I really like cats. And her translator said what I said, and she's like, oh, I have a soft white one. She's like, what's yours' name? And I'm like, Sunny. And she's like, oh, tell Sunny I said hi, and did a little like cat impersonation. It was adorable. Fossil Omanite's one of my favorite cards from my childhood too. It just looks really good. So it was really cool to meet her. So if you guys have the opportunity to do one of the artist signings at a regional, I do highly recommend it. It's just very hard to get into those. We had to wait in line for quite literally 14 hours overnight. At one point I got fed up of waiting, and that's just to sign up for the text message to let you know when you're allowed in. They like text you in order of arrival, and I don't think that many people after us even got in, and we were about a third of the way up towards the front of the line. There were a lot of people behind us. So if you like waiting outside in the cold overnight, it's for you. So it looks like this Lugia deck on the right went first. Attached a reversal energy to the Lugia. That's the same as a single colorless, honestly. That's probably in there for something along the lines of maybe Luxray for the mirror. So a little unfortunate he had to attach that there, but did go for the... Or no. Did he go first and just pass? Because he played a research. I guess he went first and just passed. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, we are going to Lugia mirror this up. So if one of them is playing the Luxray and is able to get it out, that will probably win them the game. The Luxray is a stage 2 that says when you're losing on prize cards, you can bench it as if it were a basic Pokemon, and then you attach a reversal energy to it, which also says when you're losing, it's a triple rainbow, so that fulfills the energy cost of the Luxray, and then it can hit 180 and does 20 to itself. Times 2 for weakness on the Lugia is 360, so it will one-shot a Lugia and a Lugia V-Star. Looks like this guy does have the Luxray in hand already, so hopefully he is playing at least a second reversal energy to be able to utilize that. I do think that there are very interesting ways to build Lugia going forward in this format. You can play it with the Luxray for the mirror, with the reversal energies. You can also play just the standard version of it, but you can play the new Luminous Energy so that you can play Radiant Charizard in it again, which is a really cool inclusion that you could do. You could just play the standard single strike package. You could play it pure colorless. You could play it with, you could do Lugia Blissey. You could do Lugia Wordier. You could just do Lugia with a bunch of Snorlax and Therapy Energy so that they never fall asleep themselves. Looks like they are both playing the Luxray because this puts a Reversal Energy on itself here. So very interesting decision to take that out of the deck now instead of trying to save it for when there is a Luxray. But I suppose you know that you're taking the first knockout and it is a 2-prize knockout. So I think maybe putting the Reversal Energy into play on the Lugia now is just saying I'm never getting the Luxray out, so it makes sense, especially since your opponent is getting his only Lugia V knocked out. So yeah, this player definitely went first, and very surprising he just went Lugia Pass, but sometimes Lugia Pass is the play. You just end up drawing super hot. So this player on the right is losing now, so he can bench the Luxray. So hopefully he still has another Reversal Energy to utilize with it. Again, it was unfortunate he had to attach it to the Lugia V on the previous turn. And there's no ways to recover Special Energy right now unless you were to play Silene, which just puts it on the top of your deck on a coin flip. So that's not really a good option. And yeah, it looks like there are no Reversal Energies in hand, so when he goes to play that Ultra Ball in a minute, I'm going to assume he just discards the Luxray. So this is a pretty awful start for this player on the right. You definitely want to be going first in the Lugia mirror, as you do in pretty much every mirror. I think it's okay to go second in the Lost Box mirror, but you'd still prefer to go first. Yeah, so Nest Ball. So yeah, if you're going to Nest Ball right after a deck search, you might as well not even shuffle the deck. Like, if he's going to play the Ultra Ball next too, you might as well not shuffle the deck. But I think it's more correct to save it for the next turn. So he gets double Lugia here. He is going to have to sacrifice a Pokemon to this Lugia V-Star. So if he has that, yeah, he has a double Turbo Energy in hand. I think that you attach the, or no, it doesn't have a 3 retreat cost. I think Tyranitar might have a 3 retreat cost. Well, if it had a 2 retreat cost, you could have benched the Luxray, retreated into it, so that your opponent gets a 1-prize knockout instead, but I do think that Tyranitar has a 3 retreat cost. It's very hard to tell because it's so blurry, but I keep making sure that it's on 1080p, because it's turned off on me twice, and I've managed to catch it before I hit record, both times. Just in this one recording session. YouTube sucks, man, I'll tell ya. Twitch sucks too. YouTube is kinder to its creators, but not always. Like, you can't swear because, oh no, adpocalypse happened. And Twitch won't let you get paid because they don't want you to stream on their platform. It's a whole big thing, man. You can't even say simp on Twitch. Simp isn't even a bad word, it's just a funny meme. That one, I had a simp cat emote. I had to rename it fan cat. I was pissed. So I was playing Persona 5, and Morgana is totally a simp. So we're using our Archeopses here. Archeopses? 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 Archeops. Archeop people. To charge onto the Single Strike Tyranitar to get it fully powered up. You can still... Oh no, you're 10 short of the knockout with the active, so I think you detach the Jet and the Reversal, keeping the V-Guard and the Gift Energy on it in case it gets knocked out to go into the Single Strike Tyranitar, and you can go for the Single Strike Crush. You will have to mill 4 cards from yourself, but at least you've gotten two prize knockouts 2 turns in a row. And your opponent will be able to draw until they have 7 cards in their hand and has 2 Lugias in play, but at this point, it doesn't matter, even if they are able to get a knockout on the Tyranitar V. Again, the Lugia V-Star cannot one-shot it, so it's even better to have that in the active spot for this player on the left. So I think that they have very easily won this game. I don't think that there is anything you can do as the player on the right to try to win it back, to come back into this. again, you've already used your reversal energy for the Luxray, so you can't even boss knock out the Lugia and then like leave up a 1 prizer and or anything like that. You're too far behind, so this is another one of those situations where I think that you just concede to save time and go into the next game. You have 40 minutes remaining, 41 minutes remaining, so you might as well just save time and have the time to win the next 2 games as opposed to maybe losing on prize cards in a game 3 situation. Because if you do win game 2, your opponent will be going first game 3. So you want to make sure that, I mean, it's more than likely that they're going to be the one taking the prize lead, but you can always somehow pull it back. And you don't want, like, you know, time to be called right when your opponent takes the first prize, because then you lose. So looks through the deck with the Archeops and says, yes, I lose. So let's go to the next game. So yeah, that's a perfect time to scoop. I think he could have scooped a minute earlier. I think it was very noticeable that he had lost before he even did the Archeops ability. And yep, looks like we are starting double Lugia here. We are going to be able to go first here on the right. We're going to get the Luminion off of the Mesagosa. Very interesting to see that that is the first choice to grab. Maybe we want a research next turn. We trying to flip heads for Mesagosa yet again on the next turn. But again, a little unfortunate. You played the Mesagosa and now your opponent has the ability to use it and flips heads for himself as well. So he can get a second Lugia V into play. That's definitely what you want. In the Lugia mirror, you definitely want to have 2 Lugia Vs, because if the first one gets knocked out, you still have another one to evolve into the V-Star. It's a little odd that we hadn't seen Lugia pretty much at all, I think, this entire tournament until we're getting to these late Day 2 Swiss rounds. Or middle Day 2 Swiss rounds. Because we are still, it does seem like it is still in Swiss. It is saying like round 3. And their wins are updating, and I do believe like right around here on the time stamp is yeah, it says best 16 there, so that's top 16 cut. So attaches a double turbo to the bench. If you are going to attach, you definitely want to do it to the bench, because more than likely your active is going to get knocked out. So don't put any more energy on that than you need. Looks like we do draw Iono for turn. That's not really want. We want to probably be researching some Archeops into the discard pile, but we do have a Tyranitar. We do have a Luminion. We might want to play the Iono just so that we conserve some resources here, but we do have a bunch of ball cards. We've got a couple nest balls. So we can try to thin the deck as much as possible and maybe get another Lugia V. In case we miss the V-Star somehow this turn, we can still stay in the game. Maybe get a second Tyranitar V. You could even get a single prizer to try to weave that in. It's a little bit of an odd situation as to what you want to exactly grab. I think definitely another Lugia V is correct. But you are going to be very wary of that Luxray coming into play on a future turn if you are the first one to go up on prizes. So we do the nest ball here. We are considering the Iono, it looks like. Just shuffling the hand around, not really making a decision here. I think he wants to put down this Tyranitar, but is not sure. And yes, puts down the Tyranitar and plays the Iono, saving that Luminion for a future turn. Definitely a lot better to use it later rather than now, because that's always an easy boss knockout from a Lugia V-Star. So both players shuffle their hands, put them on the bottom of the deck, and actually draws Luxray Reversal Energy. So there's the combo that you need, but that's if you are down on prizes. Unfortunately, does miss the Lugia V-Star as well as the Archeops, and way to discard the Archeops. So definitely, yeah, did not flip 3 times in the air. So if you are using a coin as a coin flip, you need to make sure that it rotates a minimum of 3 times in the air in order for it to count. That is the rules for TPCI. I'm not sure how the rules are in TPC land over in Japan there. But it seems like it might be about the same case because it did only flip twice. So flips again. And we are going to get our basic Pokemon here off of the Capturing Aroma for the tails. We're going to use a second Capturing Aroma. We're going to flip. Hopefully get a heads this time so we can get the Lugia V-Star or the Archeops, whatever it is that we need. Looks like another basic Pokemon instead with another tails. So not really flipping what we want, because technically that was 3 tails in a row because of the fact that that first flip didn't count. Now we are going to be able to discard some cards here with the Ultra Ball. We get rid of a... that's very interesting. So we get rid of a Burnett that we could have used to put Archeops in the discard pile, but it looks like we already had the Archeops in there from the first turn, so good to do that. Did not need to play the Burnett. If you don't have to play the Burnett, don't. We are going to now use our 2 Archeops. We're going to get Gift and V-Guard is a given, and then we're probably going to put maybe a Jet and maybe a Therapy if we have that in the deck, or maybe 2 Jets, or maybe another V-Guard. Just like, you know, just any regular energies. Looks like we are just going to get 3 energies out of the deck, so we must have the other one that we want to attach in hand, which is perfectly fine. Oh, are we going to go for the reversal energy again? Yeah, it looks like it. So we are going to be the one ahead on prize cards, so that makes the most sense. So definitely go for that. We're not going to be able to utilize our own Luxray in this game if we are winning. So yeah, is going to go take the knockout, discarding his own Collapse Stadium, it looks like, and passes the turn. So we are going to promote our Lugia. We're going to draw for turn. We can bench the Luxray with the reversal energy now. We will be able to attack with it, but we need a way to get it active. So we might honestly want to bench it and then maybe Iono the Luxray or the reversal energy back into the deck to get it out with the Archeops so that we can attach Jet energy for turn to make the Luxray active. Would be a potential way to do that. We could always just actually get the Archeops out and just charge a double turbo to the active. And then we could retreat that way. But definitely we have to attack with Luxray this turn. And that will make it so that we can swing the game back into our favor, because we will be able to take a one-shot on the active Lugia V-Star, and then the next Lugia V-Star will be forced up as the next attacker, and you can knock that one out with the Tyranitar V. Does flip heads with the Capturing Aroma, so he can't get the Luminion. He is going to have to go for the Lugia V-Star, an evolution Pokemon. So yeah, I definitely think that you have to bench the Luxray this turn, because you're definitely going to want to be attacking with it, but he is holding on to it until the very last second, it seems. So we're going to Ultra Ball away a Gift Energy and the Stonjourner. Stonjourner is really just a card for Miraidon matchup. Miraidon matchup's pretty iffy. It can go either way. They have the ability to attack turn 1 is the only thing. Otherwise you would be favored, so might as well just have a Stonjourner in the deck to make sure that you can weave the prize trade back into your favor. We do get rid of 2 Archeops with an Ultra Ball, so we can get them into play. Or no, with the Burnett. Now we're going to bench the Luxray. We're going to attach the reversal energy to it, use our first Archeops to charge up this Lugia. You could always charge 4 energy to the Lugia, so that you can just retreat it super easy and still have energies on it, so you can use 1 Archeops in a later turn to finish it, finish charging it up. So that would not be the worst case scenario, but you might want to just save the energy for the T-Tar instead. That wouldn't be a bad decision. So we are going to go for the Double Turbo V-Guard. I really like that because that gives the Lugia effectively 30 more HP. So there we go with the retreat. We're going to use the second, the Primal Turbo. I almost called it Trinity Charge. That would have been bad. And I think here you probably put, oh, you're going to put Gift Energy on the active. That's a really interesting play. I like that. It looks like he does not have that many cards in hand. So that is pretty useful. Otherwise, I would have liked to see maybe V-Guard go on to the Tyranitar as well. if he were to choose to do that instead. But yeah, putting the gift energy on the Luxray. The Luxray is a huge threat, so Lugia is going to have to get rid of it. If it does not, the Luxray will be able to take yet another 2 prize turn on the next turn. And yeah, it looks like the Lugia on the left did prize double Tyranitar. Honestly, a Tyranitar would be a really good way to get rid of the Luxray as well, because you could actually use Cragalanche and mill 2 cards from your opponent. You could potentially take the knockout that way. It would, I think you'd, let's see. You would need all 4 single strike energies to do that though, so maybe not. So I think this turn you attack with the Archeops. Oh, but it has 130 HP remaining. If you had 3 energies on the Archeops that were not double turbos, you would still only do 120. But then if the Luxray attacks again, it would knock itself out. So you could just kind of risk that your opponent is not able to play boss's orders on the next turn. They already have 1 Luminion in play. His other one is prized, so he would have to have the card in hand. But again, that's a little risky of a play. I don't know if I would feel safe doing that. It's a lot safer to just go in with the Lugia V, hope that I can evolve it into the V-Star, and maybe my opponent prized some single strike energies so that I do not get knocked out. So we are going into the deck, searching up that Lugia V-Star. We're going to evolve into it, and now we're going to use our first Primal Turbo here. So I would like to see another V-Guard and Gift Energy. It looks like we have the Reversal Energy still available to us yet again in this game, so that would make sense to put onto here. So if we have, again, if we have another V-Guard and or Gift Energy, I would like to see those. If we don't, the Jet Energy is perfectly fine as well. Just save those single strike energies for a Tyranitar that you are probably going to get off the next 2 prize cards, but you're only taking 1 prize card here. So do you draw the Tyranitar off this prize? There's a Tyranitar in the top 2 prizes and the Tyranitar in the bottom 2 prizes. He's already taken 2. He's only going to have 1 more. So he knows all his Tyranitars are prized, so he is going in with the Evital now. And just using the Primal Turbo and failing it. So maybe he's deciding maybe he wants to keep those energies for the T-Tar. I don't know how I feel. So yeah, the opponent does have a Tyranitar in play. So that is the only thing. Is that Tyranitar going to be able to knock out the active Lugia V-Star? Does not take the Tyranitar off the prize cards. In the last 3 prize cards, he has 2 Tyranitars. Oh, that is really rough. Kind of expected as much by the way the prize cards were facing the camera. I was assuming that he was going to take the left prize card, because that is closer to him, and that is how most people pull their prize cards. Whichever one is closest to them is the one they pull first. So we are going to have to see the Tyranitar's base damage is 240. So it needs 2 single strike energies in order to fulfill its attack cost, and it only needs 2 in order to buff its attack to 280. So if it's able to attack literally at all, it will be able to take the knockout. It will have to mill itself. So I'd like to see them thin some single strike energies maybe to the bench. No, because you have to just fully power up the active. You can't put a double turbo like for turn on it. So putting the gift energy on it, I like to see that, because if it does get knocked out. So the only scary thing is if you mill your own single strike energies off of this attack, and maybe boss's orders as well. Because if they put another V Pokemon into play, you'll want the boss's orders to just take the easy win on the next turn. Ooh, has a single strike energy in hand to just attach to the bench. All right, so I feel a lot safer with this play now. I mean, you were going to go for it either way. Discards 3 Lugia pieces as well as a double turbo energy. I would feel perfectly fine discarding those. And oh man, this is a very interesting predicament to be in. So the fact that we did just discard a double turbo energy means there is 1 less energy in deck that can be used to retreat this Luminion. But it looks like we are going ham with this Evital here. We do base 110 with the second attack. 4 single strike energies is another 80 damage. That's 190. That's 20 more than you need to take the knockout. So I'm not sure why you're exactly going for all of those. You could have saved one. I mean, I guess he has an urn in his hand. Oh, does he have double urn in his hand? If he has double urn in his hand, that makes sense, I guess. Because then he doesn't draw one for turn. No, that's an Ultra Ball. So he has 1 urn in hand. Oh, well, yeah, because he only needs 3 energies, right? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, no, he's doing 1. No. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Luminium only has 170 HP, so he would have been fine with 3 single strike energies. That would have fulfilled its attack cost and been enough damage modifiers. So finally takes a Tyranitar off the prize cards, because he takes 2 prize cards, and he has 2 Tyranitars in his last 3 remaining prize cards. So he's guaranteed that at least one of those prize cards is Tyranitar. It's impossible for him to take 0 Tyranitars when 2 of his 3 prize cards, when he's taking 2, are Tyranitar. So, since there are no V Pokemon in play for the player on the left, the player on the right now has to take a knockout here, and the question is, will the player on the left be able to recycle enough single strike energies in order to win the game? The Lugia V here has a V-Guard energy on it. That is what that secret rare energy is, I do believe. I'm fairly confident because I don't think a gift energy has a secret rare. So that should be the V-Guard. So the Tyranitar is going to need all 4 single strike energies in order to be able to take the knockout, as opposed to just needing 2. So yeah, I do think that it was a little bit risky to put that 4th one on there. Let's see, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because you'd still be 10 short of a knockout if you didn't have the 4th. So I guess getting it out of the deck or not getting it out of the deck doesn't matter, because either way you need 2 Urn of Vitalities. So I guess by getting the last one out, you increase the odds of drawing the Urn of Vitality. And he still needs a colorless energy in order to retreat. So he's going to need to earn all 4 of the energies, all 4 of the single strike energies back into his deck, and attach for turn to the active. And if he is not able to do that, he cannot win this game. So this is really just a very difficult position to be in. He could also boss his orders one of the Tyranitars on the bench and earn once and be able to win. So it depends on what are the energies left in deck. I think there's a double turbo I think I saw in there. Yeah, there is a double turbo. So he only needs the 1 urn and a boss's orders. And he has a Luminion in hand, I think. I think I did see a Luminion in hand. So he's looking through the deck now just to see if he has his win condition in the deck. And there is a boss's orders and a double turbo. So you play the 1 urn and the Luminion. You earn the 2 energies back into the deck. You Luminion for the boss's orders. Oh, you still need the attach for turn, though. So he doesn't have an energy in hand now. So he's going to have to find a way to get to that. So yeah, he has double earn, so he can go through the active. So the boss play wasn't able to be done because he doesn't have an energy in hand. But he can go through the Lugia now. He just still needs an energy card to attach for turn to his active. And he went for the boss's orders. Okay. But how's he going to switch his Pokemon? Does he have a Jet Energy? If he has a Jet Energy, then that's the way to win too. Then it doesn't matter. He could have just retreated his active or just attached it to the Tyranitar. Alright, let's see what he's got here. Yeah, no, I don't think he has it. He's going to boss an Archeops and pass and hope his opponent can't move it. Oh my god. And he can't move it! There's no energy left in deck. The person on the right might deck out. Oh my lord. No, they still have Ionos. So it's going to be a very long deck out game if so. Oh my lord. Yeah, he has single strike energy in there, but he doesn't have any colorless energy. Oh man. So the player on the left is going to need yet another boss's orders in order to win the game. I don't know if there's another boss in his deck. Man, I wish the English games were this back and forth. They're never this good. So he's going to put the double turbo energy on the active. He's going to take the knockout and win the game because he was at one prize card remaining. Oh, that was a good game. Holy crap. That was the end of game 2, right? And he won both of those? Oh, man. Yeah, he won both of those. That was an amazing play. Yeah, so he bossed the Archeops just hoping that there wasn't any energy left in deck. There wasn't. So he was able to next turn use one more additional Primal Turbo to get the double turbo energy out of his deck onto this to retreat, knock out the Archeops to take this last prize card. And that was a super close game. Yeah, that was definitely for this player on the right to win. It came down to the prize cards. If he on the left was able to get that Tyranitar early, it was definitely winnable for him. Missing that Lugia V-Star really hurt for the player on the right, but what are you going to do? So, as always, guys, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It's very important for the YouTube algorithm to comment, like, and subscribe. It helps my videos show up on the homepage for other people so that the channel keeps growing. We are getting closer and closer to monetization. I used to be monetized back in the day before the adpocalypse, and then YouTube took monetization away from pretty much everybody. So we will see you guys. We'll see you guys next time.